On today's episode, we're going to be looking at a couple of Unifi switches. So if that's something you're interested in, keep watching this video. Hi there, I'm James. I'm one of the directors here at Astra Lumos, and on today's video, we're going to be discussing both a 16-port Unifi switch and a 8-port Unifi switch. So this 16-port Unifi switch is a Generation 2 version, and the reason you know it's a Generation 2 version is because here is a tiny little screen as opposed to an on-off switch, which is what we had in the previous generation. And what that does is that actually does display some information that's obviously not readily available straight away, but also with that combined with the Unifi app, you're able to basically scan your phone over the ports and it will tell you information about each port and what it does, connection speed and that sort of thing. It's a really clever piece of kit. The job that this one's going into didn't need to be big, so this is a 8-port POE switch. Well, 16 port in total, 8 ports POE, power over Ethernet. The other 8 are just straight Ethernet ports. There's only a couple of access points coming off this, but obviously I always like to slightly overspec things just in case the property changes hands or they decide to completely change the interior of the property, or you just don't know. So I'd rather have more ports than I need now and more POE ports than I need as a just in case. So I must admit there's not a huge amount to say about this one other than it's the Generation 2, so I'll be powering this up, connecting it to the cloud key, which I haven't done a video on, so I'll get onto a video onto one of those shortly. Basically, the rest of my day for today is that I'm going to be connecting this switch, a couple of the smaller switches, a couple of the access points, get them all up and running, connected, updated, ready to go, so that by the time we get on site, essentially it's just plug and play, a bit of fine tuning, and the client's downtime is massively reduced. So that is a key thing that I do love about Unifi, is that a lot of it's really straightforward. And if I can do the cloud key today, it means that the remote access stuff is done, ready to go, and then by the time the team are on site, I can just remotely log in, do any sort of fine tuning, and away we go. And then the second switch I just wanted to look at today. So this is an 8-port POE Lite. So I don't know if you can see that, but essentially it's an 8-port switch with, once again, half of the connections are POE. So this is going in things like one's going in the office, one's going in the living room, one's going in the annex essentially. So generally you've got a couple of devices: amplifier, Sonos speaker, TV. You've obviously got the internet in at that location, and then generally one single wireless access point. So we needed a couple of Wi-Fi points. We needed a couple of PoE points as a just in case for future. But most of the locations where these are going in, they've generally only got one PoE wireless access point that really needs powering. Everything else is just sort of standalone. For example, in the office, you've got a skybox, a TV, a printer, your usual sort of things, plus Unifi 6 long range wireless access point. So clever piece of kit, this switch as well. They do offer this, they do give you this little wall mounting bracket. Very clever piece of kit. So you literally screw that to the wall, and then that just holds the box up in that orientation, or if you prefer, you can have it that way. So orientation for something this size doesn't really matter. A 16-port switch, that's going to go into a data cabinet with a fan, so heating and that sort of thing will be absolutely fine. Just a short, sweet video. I'll probably jump onto another video now just to get the cloud key, just in case people are interested in that. If you've got any questions or you want to reach out, details are on the video, but I'll see you on the next video.